All right, guys, we got GameStop TA for the week. Get ready. Let's see. So this blue line, I put this blue line out here now. This is going to be our level of support. This is historical level of support because back in the day, it was your top. We touched twice, came back down, and then we broke past it. We didn't know it was going to be our level of support until we got there. Once we did, we found out right here last April, a year ago, and we bounced off of it. This is a monthly chart right here. So GameStop is now forming a new triangle, but remember, this is going to be your ground right here, this blue line. So you can't go below it. That's fine. But also this gold road, I call it the golden road, this happens to be our trend line out of there. We had to find support. We had to find the bottom. It comes from way back down here back in the day. But that runs through that 995. So it's like where they meet, and then it keeps going. So don't worry. We're fine. We're playing out just the way we wanted to. And the reason why you know you're playing out, because this is the weekly. The weekly here, GameStop is actually going to form what they call a golden cross. So it's going to move past its 50-day versus 200-day. It's going to blow up past that. And that's just on the weekly itself. As you can see, GameStop had this little action here where they were shorted and then got picked back up. I'm excited about it because Ryan and the insiders are all buying it. 21, 23, 24, and even Alan Adel at 25, 75, 25, 50, whatever he bought in at. Everyone's willing to buy at any level they can get. So GameStop looks like this. This is going to be the daily, okay? So I want you to see it so you guys understand the action. Now, why do I think there's a breakout coming for GameStop? A couple of things that I feel about GameStop. I feel like GameStop, yeah, it's short. 47 million shares short. And there's XRT and there's this utility ETF. All of them are short, huge, and they all contain GameStop. And everybody's battling GameStop. Well, GameStop right now is $26.40, and the market's down. I know the market had finally a green day and or a good week versus what they've been having, but the market's still down. The market's down from 6,100 points all the way down to 5,300. So that's massive amount of loss there. 10%, easy, gone. And you can't get it back. It's going to take earnings. It's going to take time. It might even take interest rates to drop, but that's very far away. But the thing I'm curious about is the way GameStop moves versus the market. GameStop's not in the S&P 500. So when the S&P 500 is doing the complete opposite of what GameStop's doing, it acts as if it's the hedge to it. So you're like, okay, or the inverse, as in, hey, you know what? It's going to go down. GameStop's going to go up. If we both go up, great. Then you have to both go up to offset each other, right? So it just mimics the movements. But this is what GameStop looks like right now. Looks like it's going to have a breakout out of this triangle. And we followed it all the way on the 1 hour. You see how it ran all the way up against it. It just ran up against it. So by tomorrow morning, you're going to see where GameStop's headed, like it's breaking out towards the top side. But remember that the true top side is way up here, historically, way up here, this purple line. So you will get into this lower triangle side, but we're going to actually go sideways out of here, and we're eventually going to break out. Now, the breakouts usually happen right after something that would be like quadruple witching or triple witching. Those quadruple witching days and triple witching days is when ETFs rebalance. You also have stock index funds start expiring. And as everybody resets their books and resets the market, you're going to look at something like this. We'll look at the SPY just so that you can see it. There's a death cross forming. Over time, people go ahead and look at these trends, and then they sell off their positions. Warren Buffett didn't wait, right? Warren Buffett sold it off on the uptick. He went ahead and he top-ticked it. He really did, and he sold off his whole position for the year, and he's waiting. You wait for this decline. You wait for this 50-day moving average to fall below the 200-day. When that happens, Wall Street will follow suit and start selling off. But like I told you, these quadruple witching days, I'll give you an example. This was the downturn all the way through up into this date. Well, 313 happens to be the triple witcher. So you're like, okay, they fell all the way down as they're expiring, they're readjusting, whatever it may be. They push out sideways, and then they fall again. And it's going to happen again. And I know people are like, well, it's Trump's policies and his announcements. You don't understand what I'm talking about on value. This thing's been overvalued for years. And a lot of telltale signs, in fact, that Bitcoin pumps and dumps on weekends to go get some liquidity for their margins. I don't know who's getting margin called per se, but this looks like it's going to have a downturn right here. The last time the S&P had one of these downturns was in 2022, and 2022 was an absolute recession, and it was here. It crossed, You see the S&P, when it crossed, it came dropping down all the way to the ground. It tried to touch back up on that 50-day moving average, and it bounced right down below it, and it went even further. That's just the rhyme and reason of the stock. Even breaking past it, comes back down again. It takes a lot to get back up again, get back up off the ground. It can happen, but it's going to take you a year or two. So that's where we're headed right now with the whole stock market. But as long as GameStop's not in the S&P 500, it's always going to move opposite of it until they're together in lockstep. I think I really like this stock. I don't think I really like it. I do like it. I like everything about it. I know Ryan's out here. I know everyone's buying it, and everyone's looking at all the headlines. Now, the one thing that did come out was that GameStop needs to get out all this new product. They're going to get out all this new product, and once they do, all the Pokemon cards, the Japanese cards, everything needs to get out by May 3rd. That's the last day of quarter two. So maybe GameStop's really prepping themselves to have a good run come quarter two, quarter three for margins themselves. So I'm excited for people getting to the store. I'm excited for the stock price. I really like 26.40, and I'll keep buying it. So that's the update, guys. Appreciate you guys. GameStop, can't stop, won't stop. GameStop. I'll see you around, millionaires. Enjoy the week. Peace.